I think it's
Nice.
interesting. It's interesting that you can't sometimes, it's circumstances that present you with opportunities to think differently than the way that you think. You said something earlier, Jay, about what we do as being what Richard and I do as being revolutionary. But anytime Black people teach themselves, it's a revolutionary act.
Indeed it
Every single
is.
time throughout history, it's been a revolutionary act. Anytime we reach out to learn about the civilizations of Africa before colonization, it's a revolutionary act. Anytime that we reached out to teach ourselves within the context of a country who made it both criminal and a death sentence to teach one another, it was a revolutionary act. Anytime that and even if we fast forward into today, we're living in a time where it's easy to see that it's a revolutionary act for us to teach us about ourselves. It's part of the continuum of education within the context framework of America, but also for Black people in general, right? And so I see homeschooling as just part of that larger tradition of us, when we're focused on, us building our own selves. It's part of that larger narrative of us taking on that agency and doing the thing that's going to be generative for us and for generations to come also.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's so true. That taking on the agency, you just reminded me, as you was talking about, Jason, as you was talking about where your son was. My son was reading by the age of 2. My wife had put in some of the best practices that she learned, and he was already reading books. And we felt that one of the other reasons why we decided to homeschool, we felt that sending him into that system would cause him to go backwards or would hinder his growth.
Yeah.
As Jason was sharing, sometimes when we look at the educational system, it really wasn't structured for our children. It wasn't set up for our children to excel. And this is not to knock anyone. I know folks, they're supposed to have to send their children to, a brick and mortar school, and that's understandable. But even if we have to do that, just recognizing that we are still the main teacher of our children, they won't get a better education from anyone else, really, but us, because the system wasn't set up for our children to thrive.